Okay, our topic is finding simple interest. Now, what simple interest is if you put money into the bank, then the amount of money you put into the bank is known as the principal, okay? So principal is, it's the amount of money deposited or loaned. Whoops, I spelled loaned wrong. Okay. And then, because you put money into a bank and then the bank pays you interest for it. So the money that you put into the bank is called the principal, and the money that you earn on that principal is called the simple interest. Okay. It's interest earned only on the principal, because there's another type of interest that we'll talk about in a future video, but for right now we're just looking at simple interest. Okay, so money, you can put money into the bank, okay, and you earn interest on that money. Similarly, if you borrow money from the bank, you have to pay the bank interest. You pay interest on that money. So to find simple interest, we are going to use this formula. And again, your notes should look exactly like my notes. Well, if you want to add more, that's fine, but don't put less, okay? All right, so I is the interest earned. So the interest earned, we find that by multiplying three numbers. Remember, whenever you see things stuck together in multiplication, or in math, that means multiplication, okay? P is the principal, which, as I said, is the money you started with. R is the interest rate. And it's usually shown as a percentage, okay? And T is the time, and it's the time in years. So go ahead and pause the video to get that formula copied down, and then restart when you're ready to move on. So let's talk about a few scenarios here. Let's say that you borrow $300, okay? So problem number one, sorry for shaking the camera, is you borrow $300 for 5 years with an interest rate of 4%. Okay, so the question is, what is your simple interest? So you want to know how much are you paying the bank for the borrowing of that money, because banks will let you borrow money, but they won't let you just borrow it for free. They're going to make some money off of you. So we're going to start with the simple interest formula. We're going to write it down first, and we're going to say to ourselves to help us start to memorize it, interest equals principal times rate times time. So now let's start filling things in. Principal is the amount you started with. So principal is $300. So that's going to go right here. The rate is 4%. The time is 5. So I'm going to put in 5 for the time. Now the rate is 4%, but we have to put that into decimal form to put it in the formula. So we're going to change it to 0.04. And now we can multiply to calculate our interest, okay? 300 times 400ths times 5. You are going to pay $60 in interest over the life of that loan. So you're going to borrow, the bank's going to give you $300. You're going to pay them back that $300, plus you're going to pay them an additional $60 for the use of their money. Okay, so let's try it again. Now, you're going to borrow $220. for 4 years at 5% interest. So I want you to pause the video and calculate what your simple interest will be, and then restart to check your work. So once again, I'm going to start by writing the formula for simple interest. Interest equals principal times rate times time. And again, the amount you borrowed is your principal. This is your rate, and this is your time. And we're going to remember to take 5% and change it to a decimal. So it's going to be 5/100ths. So interest equals 220 times 5/100ths times 4. So let's see how much we have to pay in interest on that loan. So in 4 years, you are going to pay the bank $44 for that loan. And so that is your simple interest.